Welcome to the Internet Confessional Booth, where the internet confesses, we gonna listen, and we gonna talk about them. So come on, y'all, let's see what they talking about today in the Internet Confessional Booth. Okay, y'all, we are back with part two, with the Houston trip, the girls' trip to Houston that went wrong. So, to sum up what happened in part one, it really wasn't much of nothing. They got in an argument about gas when it's eight of them and it only took $40 to fill up, so that's only $5. Or they didn't really get into it, but they had like a little discussion, and then they got into it about a charger. The girl thought that someone stole her charger, but maybe she misplaced it, and or it wasn't her charger. So, yeah, so that's basically all that what she was talking about really happened. Um, our confessioner. So, but let's go ahead and get into it and finish in part two.
Wrong, and I feel like this story is getting long. We're 30 minutes in.
Yes, it is.
30 minutes. But I do want to tell the story, so let's get into it. And like I'm gonna keep saying, I'm not trying to be messy. I do want you back. I'm like, my tongue is giving, I'm trying to be messy, but I'm simply trying to tell my experience because it was an experience for sure. So now, we driving around. They will obviously want to stay out. I'm telling them, like, it's up to y'all, but I think we should go home. So we came to a group decision. Let's just go home. We could try again tomorrow. We literally have a section tomorrow, so it'll be fine tomorrow. So now, we
Oh, and another thing from part one, she was saying that they had went up to a club, and the club was like $800 for a VIP. But if it's $800, eight of y'all, all y'all had to do is put $100 a piece, and y'all could have had that section. But again, like I said previously, if you don't have no money for Houston, baby, please do not go. Houston and Miami, you got to spend that coin. You got to have that money to have a good time, to party like you want to party like you see people party on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or whatever. So you got to have your coin together when you go into these places.
Get home. We all go lay down, take a shower, do whatever. So we had reservations at Prospect Park at 1 p.m. They wanted to leave the house between 11:30 and 12 p.m. So we get there, and actually I woke up and I felt so sick. I think it was because our house was stuffy, and I just woke up with like a sinus headache, and I just had like a little migraine. So I wasn't really too much feeling it, but I'm not a creeper. Let's go have fun. So of course I'm all the way in the back row again, and now we pull up to the restaurant. We got in the restaurant originally, or it's like outside. They took us to a further back booth where it was a little smaller and it was far away from the crowd. So they ended up moving us up, right? So at Prospect Park, it was like two tables here and one long bench. So one party here, one party here. Well, everybody did not fit. Our whole group did not fit at the one table. So me and Nigel was low-key hanging off, literally in between the two tables, one table in front of us, and the other table's right here. Nigel was low-key fit, but I'm off to the side. So they whole friend group was sitting down. Then it was just me and Nigel just kind of sitting off to the side. She was able to fit, but they're like, oh, get the table and move it closer. Now this is no big deal, but I'm going to add it in because I feel like I want to add it in. They're like, oh, scoot the table up, scoot the table up. So I'm struggling trying to move the table. Nigel ends up getting up helping me to pull the table closer. But even then, it's not one of the tables where we're sitting across from each other. We're literally sitting like this. So the whole time at the restaurant, I feel like they might have thought, like, because I even texted me asking me what was wrong. Nothing was wrong, but literally, y'all, I could hear no conversation. There was loud music blasting. So I couldn't hear no conversation. Like, I'm sitting literally, like, on the other side. Like, literally on the other side. I can't hear anything that they're talking about because conversation was really happening on that end. So I couldn't hear anything. So I just really wasn't participating in the conversation. I was editing a TikTok vlog, honestly. It was no big deal to me. I'm just like, cool, whatever. So we leave there, and then we end up going to the art museum. That was cool. I didn't really pick up no weird vibes there. And then we left the art museum, and we went back home. Now, this is where things kind of got interesting to me.
Okay.
So we get back home, and I remember earlier that morning I was trying to spray my even spray, but it wasn't spraying. So I kept saying I needed to go to the hair store. Also, I needed to get some eye drops from Walgreens because my eye was red from my bottom lashes. But when we were on the way to the airport the day before to drop the car off, we didn't have time because we were running late, so we weren't able to stop by Walgreens. So I was like, either I was going to Uber there, or I was going to, ask if we could go when I was out. But after the whole gas situation happened, I honestly didn't want to trouble them by asking them to make any extra stop, because I didn't really like the energy. And that was just me honestly, like, not being sure, like, how they were really feeling. And I was just like, I'm good, like, I'll figure it out. So we get back home, and I'm telling them, like, yeah, like, I think I'm gonna change my hair to this style. It was me, Chloe, Zai, and Thing 2 on the porch, and we were talking. And so I was like, oh, Thing 2, do you have a wax stick? She was like, yeah, you can use it. I'm like, okay, cool. She was like, do you want it now? And I was like, well, no, I'm gonna wait until I'm gonna do my hair, because I'm gonna go lay down for a little bit. She was like, okay, cool, because we didn't have to be getting ready till like 8 o'clock, I think. So 8 o'clock rolls around, and I'm starting to get ready. Well, actually, hold on, I skipped the part. Zaya ended up telling me, oh, Lexi, we're still on the porch. They're about to go to the hair store. Do you want to go with them? I was going to go with them because I needed stuff, but I said no because, for one, I did not want to ride with Thing 2 and Blondie by myself because I don't know them, and because I got weird vibes from Thing 2, and I just don't really know what they're on. And also, if Zai or Chloe wasn't coming with me, I did not want to go by myself. So honestly, I said, oh no, like, I'm good. I found what I was looking for. I just need the wax stick. And I ended up actually door dashing from Sally's and Target to get my eye drops. I needed some hair stuff. And I spent like $70-something. Totally by choice. But like I said, money ain't no issue.
Okay, boss.
So yeah, basically I laid down, door dashed my stuff, took a nap, woke up, all my stuff was on the porch. I grabbed it, and now I'm texting. I'm like, hey, are y'all done with the wax stick? Can I use it? No response. So like a few minutes goes by, it's like 15 minutes, and I'm like, dang, like I'm a hairstylist, I could do my hair without a wax stick. Like I was just doing some little buns and keeping it straight in the back. I don't need a wax stick. I got this in the back. I can do this in my sleep. So I ended up sitting down, trying to comb my hair, getting it together, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm vlogging, where's my camera? And I'm like, wait, my camera was in my purse, where's my purse? I can't find my purse. Looking all around the house, tossing them upside down. Mind you, like I said, I was putting it on the whole entire trip. I had like 6 different purses, every outfit I had in the bag, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm like, oh wait, I hope my purse is in the car and I didn't leave it in the art museum. So I texted in the group chat and I said, hey, can someone unlock the truck? I need to look for my purse. Every time I'm around them, they're on their phone, right? But nobody responded to me. And like 45 minutes had went by, and I'm low-key getting more and more irritated as I'm doing my hair. So I'm like, maybe I'll send texting. Nobody responded. So I was like, Zai, please call your friends and ask them to unlock the truck. Like, please unlock this truck. So she calls, and maybe like 5 minutes later, they unlock the truck. I get my purse, and I low-key had a slight attitude, but I got over it like really quick. Cause I'm like, you know what? Maybe they didn't see my text, but it's 4 y'all in that house. Somebody saw it. Like whatever.
45 minutes later, somebody.
So I ended up finished getting ready, and now it's time to head out, and they wanted to take shots. So I go over to their house. I was like, okay, we for the pregame. I think I took one of my, on the rock shots, but like I said, I'm not judging him here right now, because I don't know y'all. So yeah, we ended up getting to the lounge. I sent an Uber for us, they sent an Uber for their house. Well, Zai called Uber, and then they sent one. So now we get to the lounge, and it was just a whole bunch of BS happening with that. They booked through a promoter versus the bottle girl or the actual people inside the club. I don't know how it works, but they didn't book technically through the right person. So they put us in a section in the very back, away from everybody. Couldn't see nothing. We were sitting on these tables that had my whole butt vibrating because we were right by the DJ booth. Mad uncomfortable. So of course everybody's kind of annoyed, but really the 2 sisters were annoyed because they were the ones that booked this. So they're up there trying to figure everything out, whatever the case is. We end up getting moved to another section that still barely fits everyone. We just had to sit at the top. It was whatever. So at this point, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just enjoying my time. I pulled my 2 green t-shirts out my bag. Me and Chloe both took one, and that was that. So now everybody's like, oh my gosh, Lexi, order a hookah, ask for hookah, ask for hookah. So I'm like, okay. Now, the same day prior, or earlier that day when we went to Prospect Park, they also ordered a hookah. I didn't smoke it. I told them I didn't want one. But we also ended up splitting the checks 8 ways even.
Okay.
But like I said, I'm going with the flow. Whatever y'all want to do, we do it. So now we're at the club, and the guy brings over the hookah. Y'all can't sit here and tell me that nobody thought to say, oh, well, how much is the hookah? Nobody thought to ask. How did y'all think we got the hookah? Y'all thought that we got it for free? Like, I didn't really understand that part. So because when he brought the hookah and nobody pulled out their card, nobody pulled out their phone to tap it. I paid for it. It's $40. I'm used to like taking care of things, like everybody takes turns taking care of something. I took care of the hookah, which nobody took care of taking care of everything, but I'm just saying. I took care of the hookah, it's only $40, not that big of a deal. So I get the hookah or whatever, nobody offers to pay for it except the girls who's in my house also smoke hookah. Zai and Kobe, Naja's not smoking hookah. They were the only two that offered. Keep that in mind. So now, we're there all night, we end up leaving. Well, actually, I look across and I see Oreo. She's literally like swaying and doing this, that, and third. I didn't recall any of her friends checking up on her, but I kept asking her, are you okay, are you okay, are you okay? And apparently also while we were in there, I didn't peep, but Chloe peeped that there was weird vibes coming from thing 1 and thing 2 and Blondie. But I don't really know, I didn't see it, but I wouldn't be surprised. So we get outside, and I ordered the Uber from my house. That Uber was like $60. So mind you, I already spent $40 for everyone on hookah. Now I'm already $60 on Uber. My house was going to refund me for it. They were going to put their card in. Keep that in mind. But this is no issue that Blondie and Oreo ended up riding with us. But it didn't matter to me. Y'all can ride, it does not matter. But they also didn't offer to pay for the Uber. Keep that in mind, because it's seeming that they're thinking that money is the issue, but y'all didn't offer to pay for the hookah, nor did y'all offer to pay to tag along in the Uber. But money is not an issue for me, so it doesn't matter. If y'all ready to go back, let's go. Get in the Uber. I didn't offer y'all for money because it's not a requirement. I mean, I didn't say, can y'all pay, because it wasn't a requirement for me. So now we get back to the house, we all order pizza, we eat in, everything seems to be cool. But I already made up my mind that the next day I'm not going to Sunday Fun Day, I'm not drinking, I'm tired of drinking. We didn't explore the city at all. So now I'm kind of annoyed, I'm like, I really want some apartment tour out here. So me and Chloe, we talked that night, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to see if I can find some apartment tours. I ended up finding 5 the next morning when I woke up. I purposely did not get up on time. I was up, but I did not want to go to brunch, because we've been drinking this whole time. We have done nothing but drink. I don't want to do that. Like, I don't do that at home. I don't want to be here. Yes, it's spring break, but we also have not seen the city. Like, we have.
Well, baby girl, what you came out of town for? You came out of town to just tour. Well, maybe you did just to tour not hotels, apartments, because when you're out of town, you drink. When you're out of town, you have a ball. When you're out of town, you spend money. So I don't. Okay, let's finish.
I haven't seen the city. Like, stay tuned for part 5, and that's the final part. Part 5 or part 6. I promise y'all this is the last part. So yeah, now it's getting heated in the chat. Like, the girls are going at it. So, and mind y'all, so what was gonna happen was, I did not initially, y'all. I promise y'all I was gonna send them that money. $12 is nothing. $12 is nothing to me at all. I am a hairstylist. I'm not worried about $12. I promise you I'm not. But our thing was, we're gonna have to help Zai pay this $150, because she's not paying it alone. She can't pay it alone. We are gonna have to help her cover. Me, Chloe, and Naja said we would help her pay the $150. So y'all are not getting $12 when there is $150 that has to be paid. Like, what are y'all not understanding about that?
Well, where is the $150 coming from? Maybe I missed something. Maybe I'm not listening good enough. But where's the $150 coming from, and where's the $12 coming from? Maybe I missed something.
But really, y'all, even up until this point, I was gonna give them the $12. But I'm gonna keep reading it, 'cause I'm gonna tell y'all how they tried to play. The reason why they didn't get no money from me, because I said, yeah, I was gonna give it to them. But honestly, me being me, because I'm a fair person, I'm real, I am who I am, they would have gotten that money had the sister not tried to be funny. And so now I'm responding to when she said, so basically Chloe's telling her, I told you money was never the issue, don't play with me. She said, no, obviously it is. I said, I really hope you're not trying to say money is an issue. I would really hope not, because, girl. And I don't even want to get on here and try to play, because I'm not the type of person, I'm not going to put you down and make myself feel better. I don't know what you have going on in your personal life, but you are older than me. She's 25, or however old she is. I'm doing way better than you. Way better than you. You don't need to sit here and say nothing about money. I'm not even going to sit here and say what I need to say, but please don't play with me ever in your life. You don't know me. You don't know me. I got my shit together. And it's getting better every day for me. Don't play with me. So here come Blondie. At the end of the day, y'all hopped in my motherfucking truck, and for one, didn't ask. Second, didn't attempt to pay for gas. Literally $20 to $30 would have did it justice. So let me tell you what I got out of this right here. So basically, y'all remember I kept saying, let's Uber, let's Uber, let's Uber. I kept saying, let's Uber. Y'all want us to ride with y'all. Y'all car was offered by Thing 2. It was offered by thing too. She's the one who said we can all ride. We'll drive and then tomorrow we can Uber because that's where we're gonna be drinking. She offered. I never asked to ride with y'all because I told Zaya we needed to Uber anyways because I already knew it was gonna be funny business. So I just replied and I said, because like I said too, she said $20 to $30 would do it justice. So like I said, her friend obviously didn't go back over there and tell her we was gonna give the $40. So that goes to show you it was miscommunication on their end, and it was messy miscommunication. Cause she was low key is giving. She was trying to stir the pot, I'm not gonna lie. And so that's why I was like, it was gonna be awkward until y'all started acting weird. So now the big girl is like, let me stop saying that. That's how I remember her. Thing one said, okay, so that's why I left the house and ain't say nothing. That's not why we left the house. We told y'all we wanted to go do an escape room. Y'all knew we was leaving the house. Us leaving the house had nothing to do with no type of money issue or anything that was going on or nowhere energy. We left because I wanted to apartment tour. I'm sorry that I'm not all about drinking. I actually like to handle business, okay? I wanted to go do apartment tours. Like, my bad that I got my life together. Like, my bad. Like, ooh, sorry. So finally, they still talking. Like, the girl, she's still talking. So I'm just like, I think it's too much talking going on. Because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. The last time we was there, I was purposely talking loud. We was outside, and in my head, I'm like, one of the girls had a gun to her face. Blondie had a. So I was honestly trying to be cautious because you don't really never know how people go move for real. But that night I was like, you know what? If they come out here talking about money, this, that, and the third, and they acting weird, we just gonna have to go at it. We just gonna have to go at it because at that point I was just like, y'all energy's weird, y'all are off. Like I didn't know what was really going on for real, but I was on whatever they was on. I'm not gonna lie. So my thing is, y'all wait until we leave Houston to pop y'all guns. I didn't like that. So now she like, stop trying to BS me. So at this point, I'm really going back and forth with her. So I laughed at it because girl boo, like girl boo. So she's still going on and on and on, and she's like, basically, Chloe said cash out for Zai. Thing one said cash out for hold on. She's like cash out for Jake. And so I said, so y'all can have y'all friend pay $150 because y'all mad about $24. And they was like, Zai, where you at? She's driving. Like, she's driving. That's why she never. Y'all want her to crash the car and kill herself? She's driving. Give it a second. Her and Chloe were riding together. They're driving. Like, cut that shit out. So now it's giving that thing one was embarrassed because she was like, me and Zai was discussing this privately. Basically, she don't know why she brought it to the chat. So now I was like, it's being brought in the chat because y'all asking about $12. So she was like, shut that shit up. Like, ooh, girl, like, her mouth is crazy. You wasn't giving this when we was in Houston. Sorry. So basically, they started going off at the mouth, and me and Chloe was just returning it. I'm not gonna lie. So I was just like, girl, because pipe it down. Like, you're not talking to me. I promise you're not talking to me. And so now she's like, we've already talked about. She was like, basically, we already talked about this twice, and no money has been sent, and y'all only responded when my sister sent reacted to Zai text. And I was just like, well, that passive aggressive shit not gonna fly. She said, you said be direct, answer act, so now it's passive. And I was like, it's not beef because I don't gotta see you again. That's fine, LOL. And she was like, why is 150 being brought up in here? That should be between Zai and the other girl, between the girl who broke the chair. And it's just stupid. So I was just like, y'all got jelly for brains. Cause at this point, I'm sick y'all hoes. Y'all got jelly for brains. Don't nobody brain move. Don't nobody brain work correctly. Y'all just got jelly in there. Like it's giving SpongeBob. So now. She's like, this is thing one, and y'all broke as fuck and weird. So I said, I'm broke? Because I'm broke? Like, hold on now, like, hold on now. Hold up, broke is crazy. Broke is crazy, I ain't gonna lie. So she's like, apparently so. Chloe like, broke. She said, but it's fine. Chloe, God don't like, I can say Chloe name. God don't like ugly. So now, Oreo's coming back and trying to peace make. And this whole conversation is ugly. And I said, babe, I'm not the type to stunt on nobody. I already told you that. But what you're not going to do is you're not going to play me like I don't got it going on for real. I said, babe, 20 years old, bought my first house, and I can go into any establishment and get what I want. Because I can. I really can. Like, stop playing with me. Like, stop playing with me. I can go into any establishment and get what I want. I could have actually taught you something too if you wouldn't have been like that. I would have sat around and told y'all everything y'all need. I could have put y'all on to things y'all never even heard about before because I have the knowledge and I have no issue ever putting anybody onto anything. Whenever somebody asks me, I always tell them. Like, come on now. I'm somebody that you actually want to have and be around because I will put you on. You will never sit at my table and not walk away with some type of knowledge. That's just what it is. I'm not going to lie. Now, when it comes to y'all, all I heard was drinking, smoking, popping in lip gloss. Stop playing. So now Chloe like, show me 10 pans right now. And then the other girl, thing one, now she's bringing up and she's like, you're going to jail. It was like, we can figure this out with, while respecting each other. And I was just like, I'm returning the same energy to your friend. This shit ain't cool. And so thing one is like crickets. She was like, keep coming up off of death, folks. Y'all weird and I'm done. Zai, you know better. And she said, as far as the chair, we can discuss that privately like we've been doing. And I said, what are we even talking about? She said, I'm done. And I said, be done. Everybody left the chat. So now, I'm gonna give y'all the floor. Who was wrong in the situation? Like I said, I know that I should have sent my $12, being that I told them I would send it. But once the 150 came up, I saw how their attitude was. Y'all wasn't paying, or the girl who broke the chair, y'all not paying to get the chair, y'all not paying for y'all part of the B&B, with the damages. Y'all left it how it was. I'm not giving y'all money. Y'all attitude is nasty. It's nasty. And on top of that, like I said, I paid for the hookah and I paid for the Uber that also took them home. Nobody offered me a dime. Yes, I did that out of the kindness of my own heart, but at the end of the day, principle still stands. Y'all didn't offer me no dime. Y'all didn't give me not one quarter. Y'all didn't give me a penny. Nobody said nothing about anything. And so, yes, I might have been wrong for it. I'm an adult. I would take accountability. I should have sent y'all $12. But at the end of the day, once you call me broke, all bets is off the table. You insulted first. I'm weird and I'm broke, right? So now, since I'm broke, I'm going to need to keep my $12. I got to keep my lights on, babe, right? I'm broke. I got to feed myself, right? I'm broke. I got to be able to put clothes on my body. So no, you're not getting my $12. Now all bets off the table. And actually, I ain't going to lie, they actually had to get sick money to put the gas back in the car. But I'm broke. But it's like, look at the pop on the kettle black. Like, and I'm honestly not trying to be petty about it, because it's like, you don't know anybody's financial situation, which is why I've never personally attacked them. And it's so crazy, y'all, because the night before we left, I literally sat Zai down and I'm looking her dead in her face and I say, you know what, Zai? Them girls, they're not your friend. And I say, you're worried about everything else. I'm telling y'all exactly what I told her. You're worrying about your stuff with your nigga. You're worrying about your job. They are going to be your biggest downfall. You can't tell me you're going to sit around and be around the same group of people every single weekend who's not pushing you to do better. They are not. I'm telling y'all, my discernment is there, and I knew from jump that they were and not even all of them, but they are not nobody's friend, and I told her that, y'all. So this is really the end of the story time. I don't really have nothing more to say, because anything from this point on will be strictly off insults, because on y'all very best day, hoes couldn't fuck. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay, what I'm going to say is I do like the fact that Alexis, that's the confessioner who's talking. I like how she's basically saying that she's gonna help her friend, or if you sit at the table with me, I'm going to give you the knowledge or give you the tools to succeed or whatever. Unfortunately, I don't really know what kind of went on as far as what happened with the chair and the $12. I'm assuming the $12 is from the gas. So I thought it was just $5. So I'm guessing it's $12. But my thing is, if you got it, then give it to them. Shut them up. Kill them with kindness. Oh, here go $12. 12, like you said, money ain't nothing to you. So give them the $12. Shut them up. Now let's see what you gonna do about this 150, about this chair that was broke. So, you know what I'm saying? So it wouldn't be no back and forth. Even if you call me broke, baby, you know I'm not broke. I know I'm not broke. So it don't even matter what you talking about. It don't even matter what you saying, baby. I know what I got. I don't got to prove nothing to you. But with you not giving them the $12, I do feel like that gave them the ammo to not want to put chip in or for the 150 or whatever. So I would have, me personally, I would have just been like, here go the $12. Now let's go ahead let's move to the next problem about the chair that's broke. So, but whatever. It looks like it was something else that went on. Let's see what's going on.
Welcome to the final part of this Storytime, because Grandma's getting tired. It's 9:27, baby. It's time to go to sleep. So this is gonna be the final part. We're gonna make it do what it do. So yes. So now it's the next morning. I'm not trying to go.
Okay, so it looks like it was on I either uploaded it wrong or it was on her page wrong. So this probably should explain the 150 about the chair. This probably should give us some understanding what went on prior to the other part that we just heard.
To brunch. Everybody else was asleep anyway, so I just didn't respond. I could have responded and said, yeah, I'm up, but thing one just asked if we were up, and only one person responded. I think Naja responded and said she just woke up. And so I texted the girls in the house with me, and I was like, hey, y'all, I want to go do apartment tours with me and Chloe. This is the time I want to go. If y'all want to go, let me know, and I'll order the Uber. The Uber will be here before 1 o'clock. The first tour was at 1. Obviously, 8 girls are not going to tour apartments. Too many girls. And being that I just no. It was too many girls. So, and that wasn't me being shady by not inviting y'all on an apartment tour. Like, that was something I wanted to do. That was kind of personal for me anyway, so I invited the girls I was in the house with. And anyways, I'll tell y'all why it was good we didn't invite them anyway. So now I was like, okay, Zai, I want to do these apartment tours. I called her in my room, and I was like, but I feel like we should do something with the girls. So I'm like, who downstairs in the house? That's my dog. But I'm like, there's an escape room, 6:50 p.m. $44 a person. Like, do an escape room and let's go tour the city with them. Ask them if they want to come. I tried to include them. So Zai sent the escape room or whatever. It took them an hour to respond. They responded when we left at like 12:40-ish. We're in the car. And thing 2 text, thing 1 text, she's like, me personally, something about she don't want to do the escape room. She doesn't have any casual clothes. So we can go ahead and do it if we want to do it, but she doesn't want to do it. Her sister emphasized it. So y'all had no intention of doing anything casual. Y'all just wanted to party. You literally say y'all didn't have chill clothes. So that's why we just left, because nobody responded to the first message, and we honestly had to get somewhere by a certain time. So we like, okay, cool, whatever. I didn't respond, but Naja did. Oh no, so she says that, and then a couple, like an hour later, she texts back, and she's like, oh wow, so y'all was gonna tell nobody y'all left? And then the sister took back like, oh man, or oh no, something like that. And I didn't respond, but Naja was like, we did ask, Zai asked about the escape room, but nobody responded. Because that was the truth. We asked if y'all wanted to go out, and y'all said no, because y'all didn't have casual clothes. Like, whoa.
Yeah, but y'all didn't ask about the apartment tours. So the escape room was supposed to be later on that day, and the apartment tours was earlier that day. So y'all didn't tell them that y'all was leaving to go view apartments or anything like that. Whatever your excuse may be, y'all still didn't tell them, hey, we finna go view these apartments. Y'all didn't have to invite them because looks like they was going to say no, we don't want to go anyways because they don't have no clothes. But at least y'all could have said, hey, we about to go and view these apartments right quick. We'll be back.
What are we supposed to do in that moment? Why did y'all only bring casual clothes when Zai literally told us to bring 2 casual outfits? Like, come on, bro. So we doing apartment tours or whatever. They don't want to go to the escape room, so we didn't come back till like 7 p.m. Mind you, Zai was sending text messages in the group chat. She sent the instructions for the Airbnb host, like saying, you know, how to leave the house. She also was asking questions because apparently the chair was broken, and really nobody was responding except 2 of them, I believe, which was everybody but the sisters. I don't really recall anybody else responding in the group chat to any of Zai's messages. So basically, we didn't see them or hear from them the entire day. And mind you, we're right next to each other. We're in the house. Nobody came over. Nobody's really texting. No, we're outside on the front porch. Nobody is saying anything. It was just weird vibes. And so I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's weird vibes, but to be honest, I feel like you guys or you kind of set the standard, or you kind of put the weird vibes out there, because you could have, like I said, even if you knew they wasn't going to go, or if you didn't want them to go view the apartments, you could have still said, hey, we're going to view the apartment. So you can't really blame them, because if I'm coming over to your house, or if I see, oh, they gone, oh, this is weird, like
but I don't really care. Y'all are not my friends. But then we get a text. Well, Zai got a text from thing 2 that says, can you send the money for the gas, or can y'all send the money for the gas, something like that. So high key, now I'm getting irritated because y'all want to show face all day, and all of a sudden y'all asking about money. Which yes, we did say we was gonna give y'all money, but in my head I'm like, I'm not giving y'all nothing. Y'all attitude is nasty. That might have been wrong, but y'all not getting my money. Y'all attitude is nasty. Like what? So I'm loud. I don't know if they heard me. Clearly they didn't hear me, because maybe they would have came over if they heard me say what I said. But I was just like, y'all hoes. I was like, I'm trying to say what I was saying because in the moment I was like low-key irritated. I was just like, y'all not getting my money, y'all gonna have to come get it back. Because I was irritated. Because, like, what are y'all talking about? Like what? Like, and on top of that too, like, it was just a lot going on. It was just a lot going on. So does that justify not really, if I say I'm gonna give you your money, I probably should have gave it to y'all, but y'all attitude was nasty, so y'all not getting no money from me. That's where my mind is at. So I say all of that. Zaya honestly starts crying because she's like, her trip didn't go the way she wanted it to go. She also was crying about other things, but it was just like, you know, she wanted her trip to go a certain way. She felt like her itinerary was taken over. She didn't get to see the city. So she's, at this point, she's just not happy. So I don't know really what went on with the rest of that text message, but we ended up all going to sleep. We stayed up for a little bit, we talked, we went to sleep. Now it's time for me to get on my flight. I get to my connecting flight, I'm calling Zaya, making sure y'all up, because y'all got to check out 11. She calls and says that the Airbnb host is charging her $150 for the broke chair in the other house. She's telling me how they left the house. They left their goodie bags. They left some trash bags in the room. It was just a whole lot of stuff that they left that they shouldn't have left it in that way, right? So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what in the world? Like, that's crazy. So I'm like, well, call me when y'all land.
Dang, that's messed up. So the goodie bags that the birthday girl had went out and purchased for them, you know, like a thank you for what I was saying in part 1, thank you for coming on my trip. Y'all left it? Like, dang, that's messed up. Because she didn't have to do that. She spent her money to thank y'all. Like, that's messed up.
So at this point, I'm home. It's like 8 p.m. And now I get a text message in the group chat. This is where it gets messy. So I get a text message in the group chat. And basically, hold on, I'm on a break. So this text message is from Oreo. Oreo is not really confrontational. She says, hey y'all, we're about to return the truck. Can you guys please send $12 each so we can fill it up? Naja says, okay. Thing 1 says, not you, boo. She said, you're good. This message was for Chloe, Lex, and Zaya. And so I'm like, ooh, okay. So now Zaya's telling them she can't send anything right now because, you know, the charge on her card, she's not sending them no money. She got to figure out this 150. Mind you, I'm on the phone with them. Zaya's really upset. Which in return, I'm upset because there was already side conversation. And thing 1 said she's not paying for the broke chair. So why are y'all in here asking about $12 when y'all got a 150 tab y'all got to pay for y'all damages? So her sister, thing 2, is like shaking my head. And Chloe questioned it because what do you mean shaking my head? And I said, shaking my head, I'll drop the message in another video. And so now Blondie enters the chat and she's like, okay, Zaya, I understand your part, ... What about everyone else paying something, ? This has been brought up and nobody sent me anything. Attitude. So one thing about me, I'm going to return exactly what you give it to me because y'all not going to play with me. Y'all not getting my money and that's just that on that. So like I said, I can take accountability because maybe I should send their money, but y'all not getting my money, y'all attitude is nasty, sorry. So I said, yeah, y'all not getting. I said, yeah, y'all not getting my money. Who helped for the hookah? And hello to y'all too. Because like I said, bad vibes, bad energy, we didn't hear from them all day. And so the sister just said, y'all weird. This is the bigger one. And so now they acting confused, like, oh, who paid for the hookah? Y'all could have been said something. We could have handled it that night. Or we could have handled this before we left. And I said, girl, did I see y'all yesterday? We in a group chat, we're next door, so now they low-key, like, they texting back to back. I'm talking about myself, so I'm like, hold up now, like, y'all not gonna gang up on me, like, hold up. So now Chloe enters the chat, and she was like, y'all had responded all yesterday, and this, that, and the third, and I was like, well, why would I text in the same group chat? I got ignored it, because mind y'all, they ignored me the day before when I was asking to home my purse and all that. So now, little sister says, you wouldn't have gotten ignored if you asked for some money for some we all smoke boo. Basically, she's trying to say you wouldn't have gotten ignored if you asked about sending money for something we all smoke. Right. And then she was like, well, y'all just called me in the B&B saying if y'all wanted something that, if we wanted something, we should have just asked. And I said, you're saying that, but yet you texted Zai last night asking about the money when you could have came over. So now this is where it hits the fan. Because I said that, she's like, oh, I wasn't home, and Zai, you're weird for that, because why is your friend telling me this? Mind you, Zai is driving. Now, Zai did say wait until I could say something in the group chat, but she was taking too long, and I was just like, no. Because I watched how they low-key bullied that girl and talking about that girl. These girls are bullies, and they think that they can say whatever they want to say and gang up on people, and you gonna let that rock. I'm not from Tally, so y'all not gonna do me like that. I might be small, but y'all not gonna play with me. I don't play them type of games. So now the sisters, like I said what I said, the little sister introduced the group chat. So they kind of, play peacemaker, like all this over $12. What's her name? Sorry, girl. Oreo is like all this over $12, like she's trying to keep making stuff. Thing one is like, if y'all ain't have the money, just say that, because that's what it's given. So you know how to send a voice message, because don't play with me. So basically, I'm explaining, the gas situation on why we didn't put in the first place. We told your sister we would put it in, but now that y'all started acting weird, that's why y'all not getting my money. I'm explaining that, and I'm telling them, like, I'm not from where y'all from, but y'all not gonna play with me. I don't do them type of games. I'm telling them what it is. So I'm like telling them, I got the hookah because y'all asked for it. I didn't mind paying for it. It wasn't that big deal. But basically, y'all in here talking about some $12 when y'all owe $150. So what's really tea? So they're like, nobody told you to pay for it. Basically, like, we was gonna help you pay for it. And I'm telling them, like, y'all didn't help pay for it though, but it wasn't no problem. You saw him. We all was right there. Nobody pulled their card out at the end of the day. So what are we talking about? So here go the sister. Thing one, still talking on her neck. And when you write it in someone else's shit that you did not pay a dime for, common courtesy is to offer money. I understand where you're coming from, but did your sister not tell you we did offer the money? We told her we would have been paid it, but she said don't worry about it. But on top of that, like I said, y'all not getting my money because y'all are being weird. Y'all attitude is nasty. And why are we talking about $12 when y'all still have to pay $150 that you said you wasn't paying for? Y'all trying to deflect. We're not doing that. Pay my friend for $150, then you can get your gas money.
Okay, so like I said, I'm sorry, we had listened to the final part before we listened to the part 5. But anywho, the confessioner, she could have just went ahead and just gave the $12 and say, okay, now I gave the $12. Now let's talk about the hookah. Now the hookah was $40. It's 8 of us, $5 a piece. Okay, now they all send you back the $5. Okay, then y'all got that out the way. And then y'all could say, okay, now the last thing on the agenda that needs to be paid for is the chair that someone broke in your house. So if we all chip in on this 150, then everything will be okay. Then everybody could have just given the 150. So if everybody would have paid their portion, and not have all these smart attitudes or be, oh, I'm not paying you nothing, or I'm not broke, or I'm far from broke. Like, if you far from broke, then just go ahead and pay whatever you need to pay them. So then you can say, oh, well, I paid what I said I was going to pay or what I needed to pay. So now what's up? So now they shouldn't have anything to say to you or any kind of smart comment to come back to you because you already paid your $12. So again, like I said, I feel like you could have just went ahead and just paid the $12, and then everything would have been cool because your bill or your portion would have been cleared. They couldn't have called you broke. They couldn't have came back and said anything. They couldn't have been passive aggressive. They couldn't have been nothing because again, you paid your $12, and then y'all could have moved on to the rest of the problem. But again, we live and we learn. Yeah, that's it. That's all. Again, thank you guys for listening. They're gonna talk on the internet, they're gonna confess on the internet. We're gonna listen and we're gonna talk about it. Until next time, you guys. See ya.